Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into one of London's most famous landmarks, a building that has literally shaped the city's skyline for over 300 years. Of course, I'm talking about St. Paul's Cathedral. But this magnificent dome, it's so much more than just a stunning piece of architecture. It's a symbol of survival, it's been the backdrop for huge moments in national history, and honestly, it's like a character in London's long and dramatic story. Just look at this image. It's from the Second World War, and it perfectly captures why St. Paul's is such an emblem of that unbreakable British spirit. During the Blitz, firebombs were just raining down on London, but the dome of St. Paul's, it stood defiant through all that smoke and flame. Its survival was considered so absolutely crucial to national morale that Winston Churchill himself ordered that all firefighting resources be sent to save it, no matter what. But to really understand the resilience that's baked right into its stones, we have to go back in time, way back, almost 300 years before the Blitz, to another great fire. This was a fire that completely destroyed the cathedral that stood there before, and, believe it or not, paved the way for the icon we know today. Okay, so the year is 1666. The Great Fire of London tears through the city and completely guts the medieval old St. Paul's. In the aftermath, the absolutely monumental task of designing a new cathedral for a new, modern London, it fell to one man, Sir Christopher Wren. It would take decades of work, but his vision was finally declared complete on Christmas Day, 1711. Now, to sell his super ambitious vision to King Charles II, Wren and his team built something pretty extraordinary. This is the Great Model. We're talking about a model made of oak and plaster that was over 21 feet long. It was so large that it was actually designed to be walked through at eye level, so you could get a true sense of the space. And let me tell you, it was incredibly expensive. The model alone cost £600, which was a staggering sum back then. That was enough to buy a very good London house. You could almost think of it as an insurance policy, right? A physical blueprint just in case anything happened to Wren himself. Okay, let's get into the design itself. The final building is just a masterpiece of engineering, but its most famous feature, that magnificent dome, well, it isn't quite what it seems. It's holding a pretty clever secret. And this is where you really see Wren's genius. He had a huge challenge. How do you create a dome that looks majestic from the outside, but feels proportional and beautiful from the inside? His solution? It wasn't one dome, but three. There's an inner dome for the interior view, a hidden brick cone doing all the structural heavy lifting, and then the grand outer dome that we all recognize. This incredible design also created one of the cathedral's most magical features, the Whispering Gallery. Thanks to the unique acoustics from the dome's curve, sound waves literally cling to the wall. This means a whisper spoken on one side can travel clearly all the way to the other, a remarkable 112 feet away. How amazing is that? From the moment it was completed, St. Paul's became so much more than just a church. For over 300 years, it served as the backdrop for Britain's greatest moments, from solemn mourning to the most joyous celebrations. I mean, just think about the history that's happened in this one place. It has hosted the state funerals of national heroes like Lord Nelson, the Duke of Wellington, and of course, Winston Churchill. It was the setting for that fairy tale wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer in 1981. And it has marked the silver, golden, diamond, and platinum jubilees of Queen Elizabeth II. So its story of survival through fire and war is obviously central to its identity. But the cathedral isn't just some relic of the past. It actually continues to adapt, evolve, and reveal new secrets even today. So you have to wonder, right? After 3 centuries packed with so much history, you might think all of its stories have been told, that there are no more surprises left to find. But if you think that, you'd be wrong. Tucked away high above the cathedral floor, at the top of a spiral staircase that Wren himself designed, there's a hidden gem. This is the Cathedral Library. It dates all the way back to 1709 and houses a collection of more than 22,000 rare books and medieval manuscripts. A secret library. And this secret library recently became the location for a truly unique piece of modern history. For the first time since volunteers literally stood watch on the roof during the Blitz, someone was officially permitted to sleep overnight inside St. Paul's. So here's what happened. As part of a special promotion with Airbnb for World Book Day,
2 guests were given the chance to stay in this historic library. They entered through the dean's door, got a private tour, and spent the night surrounded by centuries of literature. And the cost for this once-in-a-lifetime experience? Just £7.
So the crucial point is this: St. Paul's is not a museum that's frozen in time. It's a living landmark, and it poses a really fascinating question. I mean, from surviving the Blitz to hosting an Airbnb, it forces us to ask, how do we honor the past while allowing our most sacred spaces to create a new, sometimes surprising future? It reminds us that history isn't just something we preserve, it's something we're still writing, even in a